Okay, hopefully, yes, it is recording. So this is literally the homework that includes all type of equations. Okay, so today's right now it's Wednesday, so the only people watching today on Wednesday will be 601, 603, and 604. Hopefully, you'll watch this tomorrow, Thursday evening. So I don't know if I'm going to do all of them, but I'll do as many as I can. Okay, um, that I think might be helpful to you. So let's start with this. It's an addition equation. I know that because there's a plus sign. Yes, I know. And I like to do this. You might not. It divides my equation here, left side, right side. Okay. Um, it's two expressions that equal each other. I'm going to make sure that the left side equals the right side. I want to find the value of w. I know we already know what the value is, but I want to show you how work is shown here. So we're going to use inverse operations, and because this is a plus 4, I'm going to do minus 4. And the reason I do that is because this plus 4 and the minus 4 equal to 0. So they end up eliminating each other. So on the right side of my equation, the only thing that's left over is w. On the other side, I'm going to also do minus 4. Remember, whatever you do to one side, I must do to the other side. Think of the scale. Okay, if you're removing apples from one side, you must remove apples from the other side. So my w is 11. So it says here that the value for the variable that will make this equation true is 11. So we'll check. So let's check. Write the equation. 15 equals w plus 4 equals. I'm going to replace my w with 11 and see what happens. So I have 11 plus 4. On the left side, I know it's 15. There's nothing to do. But on the right side, I have to add these two to confirm that my left side is equal to the right side. And that would be my check. Okay. 3b equals 21. This is a multiplication equation because I know the relationship here right between 3 and b. There's a little dot, though we don't see it. It says 3 times the number is 21. And again, I want to show how I arrive to my answer. How do I get the value of b? I'm going to use inverse operations. So that says 3 times b, and the opposite of, or the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide this side by 3. Now I divide this side by 3. On this side, this 3 says 3 divided by 3. It's not equal to 0, but equals to 1. So in essence, I actually get 1b. And on this side, 21 divided by 3 is 7. So 1b equals 7. So as we know, it's kind of redundant to write 1b. So I'm going to remove that 1. Okay. So 3b divided by 3, the 3 is equal to 1, leaving me with only b, or 1b. And on the other side, 21 divided by 3 equals 7. Let's see if that makes my equation true. So we got 3 times b equals 21. I'm going to replace my b with 7 equals 21. And 3 times 7 is 21, which equals 21 on the other side. Okay, and again, my equation is true. A subtraction one over here. A minus 2 equals 10. So this one, it's a subtraction equation. And to get rid of this minus 2, I'm going to use the inverse, which is plus 2. I'm going to do plus 2 on the other side. Remember, same thing on both sides. The minus 2 and the plus 2 become 0, so I don't need to write 0. So I can write 0, but there's no point. And the only thing that's left over is a. So I get a equals, and then 10 plus 2 is 12. So that's the value of the variable that supposedly make my equation true. Check. A minus 12 equals 10. Sorry, that's a minus 2 equals 10. A minus 2 equals 10. Let's substitute. I know the a is 12, so 12 minus 2 equals 10. Well, let's see. 12 minus 2 is 10, which equals 10 on the other side. Check. This one, I'm going to use the reciprocal to help us find the value of n. So again, the same thing. Split that in half. This is my left, this is my right. And I'm going to multiply, because it's a fraction here, my coefficient is a fraction, I'm going to use multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/3, 1 over 3 is 3 over 1. And on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, multiply by 3 over 1. 3 times 1 is 3 on the top, and 1 times 3 at the bottom is 3. And notice that 3 over 3 is just simply 1, which ends up, in essence, I'm basically literally doing this. So everything gets crossed out, and I'm left with 1n, or just simply n. Okay. On this side, I multiply. If you want to change this whole number to a fraction, you can just put over 1. And you get 13 times 3, which is 39. And 1 times 1, which is 1. And I'm not going to write that. So n is just simply 39. Check. It's 1/3 n equals 13. I'm going to substitute the n with 39. I'm going to go 1/3 times 39 equals 13. Let's see if that's true. Again, I can multiply. I get 1 times 39. Or I can turn this to a whole number. 1 times 39 is 39. At the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3. And 39 over 3 is indeed 13, which equals 13 on the other side. I'm going to do, let me do another of these. Let me do this one, because this one looks a little different. Well, do this one. So 34 equals y divided by 2. Okay, so the opposite here of division is multiplication. Okay, so I'm going to go, and again, I like to split mine. Okay, and I want, remember, my objective is to get everything that's bothering the y. In this case, this 2 in the denominator part. So I just want this on top to look like this. So we got to get rid of the 2. It's a division, so the opposite or the inverse of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. I'll multiply this side by 2. Okay. And these two are going to cross out, equaling to 1. And y times 1 is just going to be 1y, or just y. And on this side, 2 times 34 is 68. So the value of y that makes this equation true is 68. Let's try. 34 equals y over 2. 34 equals 68 over 2. And 68 over 2 is indeed 34, which gives you 34 on the other side, which is equal to 34 on the other side. A over 7 equals 5. Again, this is a division. Okay, it's a division. Here's my left side. Here's my right side. It's a division equation. I want to get rid of the 7, not the 5. I want to get the 7 because the 7 is bothering the a, because I want my a all by itself, isolated. Because it's division, I'm going to multiply because it's the opposite. And the opposite of division is multiplication. And we're going to multiply by the by 7 on both sides. And by 7 over here. So on this side, it's easy. 5 times 7 is 35. And this 7 on the numerator and this 7 on the denominator, okay, end up canceling each other. They become 1. And I'm left with just a. To check, a over 7 equals 5. I'm going to substitute the a with 35. Over 7 equals 5. And 37 over 7 is indeed 5, which equals 5 on the other side. Over here, I have my coefficient is a fraction. So when the coefficient is a fraction, ladies, you want to multiply it by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply this by the reciprocal of 3/7, which is 7 over 3. And I'm going to multiply this side with 7 over 3. On this side, this numerator 7, this denominator 7 cancel out to 1. This numerator 3 and this denominator 3 and this numerator 3 also makes 1. So I get 1 times 1, which is just 1, which gives me 1n, or simply n. Here on top, 24 times 7 divided by 3. So let me multiply the top. I'll put this over 1. I'm going to get something over 3. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14. 168. Can I divide that by 3? If I divide that by 3, 3 goes 16. 5 times 1 left over, 18, 6, 56. So my n ends up being 56. So 3/7 of n equals 24. Let's see. If you had $56 and I say, please hand over 3/7 of that amount, would that equal 24? I don't know. So 3/7 times 56. So let's multiply here. 3 times, again, I'm going to put this over 1. So I know at the bottom, 7 times 1 is 7. And on top, 3 times 56 is 18. 168 is 168 over 7 equals 24. Let me see if I can do that. 168 divided by 7. 7 goes 16 2 times, which is 14. 2, bring down the 8, and 7 goes into 28 4 times. And you can tell that this 24 equals 24 on the other side. Okay. I'll do this one. 4 times the number equals 24. Okay, not that bad. We all know it's 6, so let's just prove it here. So it's multiplication. Because it's a multiplication equation, I'm going to use the inverse operation of multiplication, which is going to give us division. So I'm going to divide this by 4. Now divide this side by 4. Oops, I forgot to write left. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then I bring down the x, so I get 1x. And 24 divided by 4 is 6. Better yet, I write it x equals 6. I don't really need the 1 there. Substitute. 4 times x equals 24. Let's see if that's true. 4 times 6 is 24. And we can tell very quickly that this is equal to that. W plus 2 equals 12. Again, this one is an addition equation, so I'm going to use the opposite of addition, which is subtraction, minus 2. Oops, I need to write minus 2. And I'm going to do minus 2 on this side. A plus 2 and a minus 2 are completely opposite, so they end up equal 0. The W comes down, and 12 minus 2 equals 10. To check, I get W plus 2 equals 12. W is 10 plus 2. And again, we can quickly tell that this is 12, which equals 12 on the right side. Okay. Did I skip any? Right. So operations that undo each other are called inverse operations. Mathematical sentence that contains an equal sign is an equation. The value of the variable that makes the equation true is called the solution, I think. A variable is a symbol, usually a letter, used to represent an unknown value. Oh yay, tons more. Okay, I'm picking half. I'm not doing all. Let's do eeny, meeny, miny. Let's do this one. So this one has a coefficient of a fraction. So when your coefficient is a fraction, I want to multiply it by the reciprocal. So here's my half. The reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. I'll multiply the other 5/3. As I showed in class, when you have a a number and that number is multiplied by its reciprocal, this whole thing here becomes just 1 or 1x. And I'm not going to write 1x, I'm just simply going to write x. On the other side, 9 times 4 is 36, and then I'm going to divide it by 3. And 36 divided by 3 is 12. So the value of my variable is 12. So equation original is 3/4x equals 9. So again, imagine if you had $36 $12, and I said, please hand over 3/4. You would hand in $9. Let's see if that's true. 3/4 of 12 equals 9. Is that true? Well, I can multiply these two. 3 times 12 is 36 over 4 equals 9, and 36 over 4 is indeed 9, which equals 9 on the other side. Let's do this one. A over 6 equals 8. This is a division equation. Okay, the relationship here is a division. So the opposite of division is multiplication. I'll multiply that. Okay, I'm going to multiply that by 6. Multiply this by 6. So the 6 here, and again, the 6 is a whole number, or we put it over 1. You can do it like this. This 6 and this 6 will equal to 1. We'll cross each other out, equal to 1. And I'm left simply with a or 1a. And on this side, 8 times 6 is 48. A over 6 equals 8. A is 48 over 6 equals 8. And 48 over 6 is indeed 8. I'll do this one. This coefficient is a is the coefficient. Coefficient is a fraction. Multiply that by the reciprocal, which is 8/5. I'm going to multiply this side by 8/5 as well. Like I said in class, When you multiply by the reciprocal, this whole thing ends up being just 1, or 1k, or just simply k. On this side, 25 times 8 is, I don't know, 200. I divide that by 5, and that's going to give me 40. So k is 40. Substitute 5/8 of k equals 25. Let's see if that's true. So 5/8 of 40 equals 25. I have no idea. 5 times 40 is 200. If I divide that by 8, is that equal to 25? Well, 200 divided by 8 is 25, which equals 25 on this side. Let's do this one. This is a division equation. It says P5 equals some number divided by 5. So division, so I'm going to multiply both sides by something, and I'm going to multiply by this denominator here, and multiply like that, and 5 on that side. 25, 5 times 5 on the left side. And over here, this 5 here at the denominator, and this 5 on the numerator will give me 1, leaving me with 1p, or just simply p. So p is 25. Substitute, let's see if that works out. 5 equals 20p over 5. 5 equals substituting 25 over 5. And 5 equals 25 over 5, which is just 5. Is there anything? Ooh, let's do this one. Okay. This one over here. So, again, my coefficient, the number next to the variable, is a fraction. So whenever it's a fraction, I'm going to multiply by its reciprocal. 2/5 would be 5/2. And on the other side, multiply by the same, 5 over 2. So this, all this equals just y, because they equal to 1. On this side, I can multiply, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. 4 times 5 is 20. 15 times 2 is 30. And I can simplify that to y equals 2/3. Okay. And let's see if it's true. So I had what was the number? 2/5. So 2/5 times y equals 4/15. 2/5 times y, which is 2/3, equals 4/15. Well, you can tell that it is true because 2 times 2 on top is 4, and 5 times 3 on the bottom is 15. So notice that my left side equals the right side. Okay. Let's see if I should do anything. I am hungry. Dinner time. We haven't done too many of these simple ones. So again, here, this is a subtraction equation. I am going to use the inverse of subtraction, which is addition. Okay. Minus 5 and plus 5, and I'm going to do plus 5 also over here. So minus 5 plus 5, they become 0. I'm left with b equals 8 plus 5, 13. Substitute, 8 equals b minus 5. 8 equals 13 minus 5, and 13 minus 5 is 8, which equals the 8 on the other side. Any other ones? I'll do one more. And I'm going to do TF. Let's do F. For this one, it's a division. Uh-oh. What happened? No. Uh-oh. What's going on? Here. No. Should press pause, but what is going on? No. Okay, here we go. Oh, thank you. So it's let me split this in half. Divide my equation to two sides, my left side and my right side. It's a division equation, so I'm going to multiply this side and this side by something, okay, because the opposite. And who am I trying to get rid of? The 11, okay, because I want f to be all by itself, isolated. I'll multiply this by 11. So the 11 here, I can put it over 1 if you like. So this and this will cross out, leaving me with 1f or just f, okay. And 12, I'm going to multiply also by 11. And 12 times 11 is 132, I think. So let's see. We can always check. So I have f over 11 equals 12. I'm going to substitute and get 132 over 11, which equals 12. And 132 divided by 11 is indeed 12, which equals 12 on the other side. Okay. I'll do this one. I guess I'm ending up doing a lot. What's the equation? Recognize the type of equation. This is a multiplication equation. It says 14 times the number equals 56. So because it's times, I'm going to use division. So I'm going to divide this and divide this side. Both sides I'm going to divide by the coefficient here, because that's what I want to get rid of, in order that my left side looks just like that, just with a g, no 14 around. So this 2 become 1, leaving me with g, or 1g, and 56 divided by 14 gives you 4. Okay, remember you're dividing both sides by the same amount. So my equation is 14g equals 56. 14 times 4 equals 56. And 56 over here is indeed 56 on the other side. Okay? And that's it. I'm not going to do any more. Everything else you should be okay with. Okay? Any questions? Ask me tomorrow.